To whom much is given, much is required. Luke 12:48 states, "From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked." Require means that a specified action is necessary in order to satisfy or otherwise fulfill. In our Constitution, the Word of God, it is law. Constitutional means having to do with the document that is the foundation of a government. In a kingdom, a constitutional right is one provided to you by the government of heaven. If God has given you a lot, He expects a lot from you. If you know what's right, you should do it. To whom much is given, much is required. A servant who knows what his master wants but doesn't prepare to do it, what is asked, this servant will be punished severely. It is a reminder for us to follow God's command because we know what He wants from us. Those who would be Jesus' disciples must count the cost of dedicating their lives to Him and make sure they're willing to pay for it. If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it. But whoever loses their life for me will find it. God sees everything we do. If we judge others for doing wrong, but do the same things ourselves, we can't escape God's judgment. But the one who does not know and does things deserving punishment will be beaten with few blows. Each one shall carry their own load. Whomsoever much is given of him shall be much required. We are held responsible for what we have done. The judgment and consequences that will be faced by those who are unfaithful and disobedient to God. Adam told God he had hid because he was afraid and naked. This showed the first instant of fear and shame in human after they disobeyed God. God asked Adam if he ate from the tree that he had commanded him not to. God knows everything, even our disobedience. The Israelites disobeyed God by not driving out all the inhabitants of the land. Consequently, their children were drawn into worshiping idols, and there arose a generation who did not know God. God punished them by dooming them to wander the wilderness for 40 years, during which time the rebellious generation of Israel would die and be replaced by a new generation that was faithful to the Lord. If they had only admitted their sins, they might have found salvation. Anytime we disobey God, we open access for the devil to come against us. When we go astray, God sometimes brings in the oppressor to bring us back to Himself. When you push God away in your life and you choose not to obey the voice of the Lord, you become useless. You become unfruitful. If God is not in your life, your family, your nation, there will be no love, no peace. There will be bloodshed. God does everything for a reason, and His works are eternal. We can't add or take away from them. This helps us trust Him more. John 15:22 indicates that because Jesus has come into the world and has done mighty signs that testify to who He is as the incarnated Son of God, the world has no excuse for rejecting Him or His followers. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevail. To whom much is given, much is required. God bless.